Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it doubts, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome, Bare Knuckle Syndicate fans, to the BigFace show, man. And I am happy to see y'all. Of course, we always are really deep into the bare knuckle new era combat sports. You know, it's the fastest growing sport in the world for a reason. The most exciting sport live there is to go to, man. And before we get into, tonight's festivities, we have a great show for you tonight. We got my man Austin, the dreamkiller Spivey, who debuted in Denver at BKB 44 with a sensational first round knockout. We've also got a conversation with my man Vic the Cutman Starita. Man's all over 33,000 miles in about 5 days. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the WBC Rayadh season tournament, as well as a whole wrap up of our weekend spent in Denver at BKB 44, Denver Brawl 5, 7 of 9 main event contests ending in knockouts. An amazing card once again. Man, the matchmakers there fight their guys hard. You get those 50-50 fights. You never know what's going to happen. And that's why you got to love bare knuckle, as well as other things. But first and foremost, before we get into all that, like I said, shout out to my guy, One Smack Jack, Dugdale, from across the pond, man. Recently signed, a former BKFC fighter, recently signed to BKB, getting ready to fight over there soon. Next month, they got a fight there in Bristol. And can't wait, as well as September 27th in upstate New York. We can't wait for that either. So much happening. And before we get into the interviews and, get into the paying the bills and whatnot, I do want to introduce a new member of the family. We got a West Coast affiliate. My girl, Alexus, man, we met during the Deontay Wilder fight in Wichita. She is a veteran of the boxing ring sport. She vlogs regularly in that sport, and of course, as everyone else, became intrigued with the bare knuckle, and we had to get her over here, man. We got to get some of that feminine energy, because the female portion of this sport is probably the most exciting female combat sport in the world. Female bare knuckle, and the not only the action in the ring, the damage that they take, but also the feud you see growing. We see this recent feud. Can't wait to see the matchup there between Christine Ferreira and Jessica Borg over there in BKFC. That feud is hot like fire. They'll be fighting in Jersey. You saw that press conference this week as well. Lots of excitement in the sport, across the sport. But so let's bring my girl Alexus on. Let's talk about, we had her there in Denver. Let's talk about her experience, man. So without further ado, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring on my girl right here. Yeah.
Face.
Alexus.
Hey,
What's up, family? Hey. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm fantastic. We're going to do it one more time. So you guys
one more time.
You got to run it twice for you the first time. Stop that. All right. So,
okay.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
Thank you so much for all the welcoming things, all the help, all the guidance, everything that you've done. Honestly, Denver, I was so nervous, but when I got there and I saw the type of direction you and our entire team gave me, I felt so confident, and it helped me really get through, honestly.
Oh, man, it's great. I mean, I definitely have a great support system there of passionate people that love the sport, and that's what it's about. You'll find here at the Syndicate, we're about the fighters we always will be, have been, and you right along, you line right up. You came right in, jumped right in the phrase, said, hey, you were talking to the female fighters. You were talking to the female presenters. And, let's talk about that. How was the experience? What did you expect coming into a bare knuckle fight? You've been to boxing matches. What did you expect?
Right.
What did you expect?
So coming into a bare knuckle fight, I honestly didn't know what to expect. Of course, I watched a couple things and, read a couple things about bare knuckle boxing, but it was nothing comparable to seeing it live in the flesh, like being there, seeing the blood, seeing how gory it gets and how those women really put everything on the line and go out there and fight is like something I could not even imagine unless I was there in that room that night. Those fights were crazy. So it was definitely a dope experience.
Oh yeah, man. We talked to a Cutman tonight, and Vic will allude to how much work goes into keeping these fights going. And you said it yourself. We were talking about it. We talked about it. The weigh-ins. You interviewed some fighters there, and we talked about it. I said, yes, and I said, while there may not be as many stone cold knockouts in the female fights, they fight hard for 5 rounds, and the damage is crazy, right?
Damage is crazy.
So, okay. So what did you feel the energy like? It's very right? You feel that rebel energy in the crowd. Great packed crowd there. Am I right?
It was almost hard to stay in my seat. Not only everyone next to me just hype, excited, everybody was fighting to stay in their seat because there was just, you wanted to get closer. It was so intriguing. It was so interesting. It was just so crazy seeing these people in the ring. It was some hard fights. I don't know if these people had beef. I don't know if these people were arguing. I don't know what the hell but when I say they got in that ring and it was no playing, they came to fight. So it was some good fights.
You'll find that, there seems to be a lot of beef leading up to the fights. There's a lot of internet beef and then the weigh-ins and then the beef. But once the fight happens, the ultimate respect, most of these cats come out and they're friends and they're training partners afterwards. Very seldom is the beef ongoing after the fight. That's one thing about it. There's an honor in getting in there and doing it. And that triangle, right, is real small, right? It looks real small, nothing but corners in there. And I also brought you on for another reason. We first of all, everyone's seen this on the internet this week on our Instagrams, on our Facebooks, on our YouTubes. Happy to see you did a fantastic job. We're releasing some of your interviews, and we thank you for that. But soon, we hope to have you in upstate New York, September 27th at that event, that BKB event as well. Yeah. Oh, and we're gonna rock out there, and also, the new show. We're gonna talk a little bit about the new show. So just for you audience out there, you bare knuckle passionate fans, we're going to have Miss Alexus teamed up with a soon to be named professional female fighter on the Queens of Violence television show, man. It's dope, man. You're going to check it out. Alexus is going to bring you inside the world from the female perspective, right? From the female perspective, right? Because you talked to some of these women there.
Yeah.
Tell them about how that woman energy.
So from woman to woman, talking to these fighters, I feel like I can ask them questions and just get really into the depth of things, more than just what we see. What is it like? How does it feel? And just being a woman, I get it more. So I think we're going to get deeper and we're just going to get more insight of what these fighters go through mentally, physically, emotionally, just the depth of it. And, so I'm excited for that part. And they showed so much love to me as women. They showed much love, so that excited me even more to work with these people and talk to these people and work alongside them, help each other. It was all love in the room. So I love that.
Man, yeah. And you'll find that there's so many fantastic personalities in the female division of the sport. Across the board, man, just amazing. Not only talent, but personality. And it's a different struggle from a female fighter's perspective than from a male. They're juggling different things, different roles in the household. Some have young children. Some juggle multiple jobs. They're entertainers in other aspects. Some fight in multiple disciplines at the same time. So we can't wait to get you out there talking to them. And so we just wanted to have you on for a few minutes, introduce you to our latest member of our family. We sing a lot of her on the Syndicate, man. And thank you, Alexus. And by the way, she's over there on the left coast out there. Right. So we got the West Coast affiliate there. And thank you so much, man. And you did fantastic in Denver. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without you. Truly. I'm excited for our next event, New York. We're going to go crazy. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to get so much good work done. And I'm excited for our future, our podcast, just everything. We're going up. Stay tuned.
Hey, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Absolutely. Because that podcast will be coming sooner or later. Ladies and gentlemen, Bare Knuckle Syndicate roving reporter, Alexus. Thank you very much, Alexus.
Thanks.
Fantastic job Alexus did in Denver, man. And like I said, that part of the sport is a growth market for the sport. The female combatants, and over there they're looking for the first double champ in both sports. You see women striving to become the first two-weight champ, and it's going to happen this year, one way or the other. We're going to see somebody finally get that and further. So, and we're going to take a little break to pay some bills and show you what's upcoming in the world of bare knuckle. But man, tonight, like I said, soon we come back. We talk to my man, the dreamkiller, Austin Spivey. We'll talk to him about his debut in Denver for BKB and find out, what the Trigon was like for my man right there. So stay tuned right here, man. Bare Knuckle Syndicate, baby. You know what I mean? We good to go, baby.
Welcome to the Mile High City of Denver, Colorado for BKB.
Cleared it. Wow, what a left hook. That may be it. Oh, great combination landed by Zion Thomas.
It's all over. George Martinez with Mother Maria in attendance.
And speaking on that, man, we just came back from a fantastic weekend in Denver for BKB 44, Denver Brawl 5. Fantastic card all the way throughout. Patty Juarez retained her lightweight championship in the main event, but 7 of the 9 on the main card were knockouts, including our guest today who made his debut for BKB in Denver, man. I want everybody in here. We're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and grab on, make sure we got our little clapping ready for my man right here. Where you got it? There he is. Because we're going to bring to the stage my man, Austin, the dream killer, Spivey. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
What's up? It's good to be here at this show, man.
Hey, man, it's good to have you, bro, especially after that amazing knockout in Denver, man. How's it feel to go in on your debut and come out with the knockout?
You know, not only was it my debut, but I opened the show. So it was very important to open the show with a bang. So in my opinion, the way I opened the show said everything about how the show was going to go. And that's why it ended up being 7 out of 9 finishes. Or seven finishes out of 9 fights.
It was crazy, man. It always is. I mean, that's like a 90% knockout rate anyway. This ain't your daddy's boxing match, right?
That's right. That's right.
So we were talking about that. I mean, coming in, and you were the underdog. Let's be real, right? Fighting Matthew Matisse, and you were the underdog. You expect to come out on the B side, but all things change when the bare nuts start flying.
That's absolutely right.
How did it feel, man? How was your weight cut? How'd you feel coming into the fight?
So I knew that I was fighting at a heavier weight, which was 160. In MMA, I was a 45er and a 55er, but I fought at 65 as well in MMA. So, and 70. I used to be overweight, and training like I have been. I got skinny and fit. And I feel great. I put on a lot of muscle for this fight. I did a lot of legs. I did a lot of lifting prior to being in fight camp. That's what my focus was on, is gaining muscle so I could sit down on my punches and be confident. And that's what it was, man. Fighting at 160, I was probably walking around 180, 185-ish at some point. So the cut was really easy because actually a couple months ago I was walking around in the low 160s and put on a lot of muscle. But it showed. It showed for sure. The way I was sitting down on my punches showed. So.
Well, I mean, and speaking of that, I mean, you can watch right here. We're running the video right here. As you see, there was not just the one knockdown. There was a lot of damage really early on. You came out very aggressive, and then you caught him with the big left hand. It was a left hand, right? Big left hand.
Both times the left hand dropped him.
Yeah. And as you see, dropped him. I mean, amazing knockout to start the night. A capacity crowd there at the Stockdale Center, man. Sold out. Every seat taken, people going crazy, energy right from the jump too, man. Like usually, the prelims, not that many people there, but man, they were there for the cast even before you came out with the main card to open the show up. So how did the energy feel there in the Stockdale Center?
Man, the energy was great, and I actually so ever since I've been an amateur, I've enjoyed fighting people in their hometowns. And this is how I got the name the Dream Killer, because the thing is, I come into these people's towns, I fight them in their hometowns. I always come in as the underdog, especially when you're fighting a guy in his hometown.
The Dream Killer, my man.
And I kill their dreams, and that's where that name came from.
So let's talk about the opportunity. We talked a little bit about this earlier when we were on the phone, man. How did you get this opportunity? Shout out to the people that gave you the opportunity here. BKB, man, one of the fastest growing sports in the world, fastest growing organizations in the world, and you came in with a splash. How did that opportunity come into your hands, Austin?
So going back, I'm a 2-time amateur boxing champ and a 2-time amateur MMA champ. I tore both my meniscus in both my knees.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't do MMA anymore. And I was like, what am I going to do? I've sacrificed everything I know to chase my dream for this passion of fighting. It doesn't just stop at MMA, right? So what ended up happening was I was fighting for a company, or Nick, that owns Spar Wars, that also works for BKB. He gave me an opportunity because I fought two of the guys, two of the best guys for Spar Wars promotion, and I beat them, Chango and Jamal. So
Chango, man, I've seen him fight a couple times. An amazing young fighter too. So that's a great win.
Love Chango, and Chango's a great guy, and so is Jamal. Both of them hit so hard, and they're great guys. And you know what? It's nothing but love, respect. Those are definitely some upcoming fighters to pay attention to for sure.
Absolutely agree. Yeah. So okay, so you beat both those fighters in Spar Wars. Go ahead with the story, Austin. Go ahead.
So basically, looking forward, I took my pro debut in boxing because, like I said, I was a 2-time amateur boxing champ for CES Boxing, and I lost by decision to a guy that was 5-0 with 4 knockouts. So I took this fight, went to decision, took the B-side fight, and lost. It was a very good fight, and the guy was a great boxer, but it was a very competitive fight. But what I learned about boxing is unless you have a promoter and you have a backing, it's a very corrupt sport. So given the opportunity, I'm not going to give up on my dreams. How can I go about still being successful? Everyone in the gym at Goat Shed and Fifth Street, they're like, man, you have a great style for bare knuckle boxing. And I'm like, so I started looking into it, and what I found out is bare knuckle is a sport you can rise in as long as you come in with a banger, and you have that back in, and you back everything, all you're talking up with your actions. You can become a star in bare knuckle very easy.
It's all about the action. It really doesn't. I mean, you can have a lopsided record. Actually, you can be. Zion Thomason is a perfect example. He was 4-4 coming in tonight. Of course, he got the knockout. He's 5-4. But every time he fights, super exciting fight, great fighter. And that's where bare knuckles at. So it's not boxing where everybody's trying to protect the goose egg, man. Which
exactly,
is ridiculous,
man. And it's a beautiful sport. It's a violent sport, and it's an entertaining sport.
And it's a level playing field, man. Bare knuckle. It's a level playing field because, listen, anything can happen. We all know that. We've all been clipped of bare knuckle. And so talking about that, okay, the opportunity, let's talk a little bit about the organization, right? BKB, class organization, great leadership there. How was your experience there with the BKB in your first event?
Man, it was legit lovely. I absolutely loved BKB. And, looking back now, BKB was the first bare knuckle promotion I ever heard of. And coming back to that, right, the card was called the Mile High Beatdown. What's crazy about this is, as a kid, I had a backyard fight club, and it was called the Valdosta Beatdown. So it was like this big circle I made from being a kid fighting in the backyard to being at BKB, which pretty much started with Dada 5000, which started in the backyard. He became famous in the backyard. So it's an amazing story, and I just knew everything ended up here, and now this is where it really starts for me, and I'm so excited to prove it to the world that I'm meant to be here.
Absolutely, man. So what's next? What do you see next? I mean, did you sign a multi-fight deal with the BKB?
Yes, absolutely. I signed a 4-fight deal, and what I'm guessing is next is November. Where was that city called, Ben? Pembroke Pines. In November will be my next fight, most likely. I took 0 damage in the fight. We'll get on to that later. Where this came
No,
from.
we'll leave that off the camera there, Dreamkiller. Yeah. We'll let that dream, let your mind, let your imagination run wild with you. But yeah, I'm sure, every BKB fan that saw you open the show can't wait to see you get in the Trigon again. Let's talk about that for a second. You fought in a lot of different surfaces. What was it like fighting in the smallest surface in combat sports, the mighty Trigon? A little intimidating, man. What was it like to fight?
It benefits my style completely. My style, I don't move back much. I'm a pressure fighter. I'm a very hard puncher. I'm a puncher, and I'm a great boxer as well. I can do both very well. I can also clinch very well. But the Trigon makes my style even more hard to deal with.
Absolutely. It definitely forces the action. There's no lull. There's no dancing around, getting on bicycles. There ain't nowhere to ride unless you're on a unicycle and you're going into a corner, right? Super impressive, man. And I appreciate you taking time to talk to us. Before we let you go, Dreamkiller, I want you to shout out any sponsors you got, man, your gym, your partners, anybody. I know that it takes a team to do this type of thing. It ain't just the fighter.
So first thing first, I'd like to shout out my coach, Tiger. Man, he's since I've been with him, he's really took me under his wing and sharpened me up and developed me as a fighter. I'd like to shout out to my girlfriend right here. She's everything I could ask for in a woman, and literally what I can have backing me. I have all the support system I need as a man and a fighter, with my family and the people I love. And as far as sponsors, I want to shout out Kimura Gang Apparel, Alchemy Labs, Dynamo, which is a clothing company one of my good friends owns that sponsors me as well. 5th Street Gym. I train out of the 5th Street Gym. Absolutely love the coaches there, Dino, and everyone. And shout out to Goat Shed as well. I lived there at the gym, and that's what brought me to Miami. I lived there for 2 years. So shout out to everyone involved in this big
team. The team, it takes a team to make the dream work, and it takes a team to kill dreams too, don't it? Look at you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's your new saying. Don't say, hey, when they say teamwork, it takes a team to make a dream. Yeah, it takes a team to kill them too. And that's what also Spivey's out here doing. Killing dreams one at a time. Hey, tell them where your social media handles, and we'll put it right on the bottom so you see it right there. Tell them where to follow you.
Yeah, if you guys go follow me at Sparta_Spivey, I promise you're going to see some crazy action, some good content, and you're going to see me back up everything that I say in the Trigon.
Man, we love it. And you now are a friend of the Bare Knuckle Syndicate, man. We really appreciate you coming on the show. We're going to have you on after every win. We will be following your career, man. Can't wait to see you the next time you're in the Trigon, brother. We really appreciate you, Austin.
I absolutely appreciate you guys as well.
There you go, man. The dream killer, Austin Spivey, man, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Great show we got for you tonight. Of course, we'll be introducing, we talked to my girl, Alexa, and we've got a little segment with her. And we've got Vic Starita, the Cutman extraordinaire of Bare Knuckle, but also we're going to talk to him about Rayadh season with the WBC's, the official Cutman there. And of course, man, Zion Z-Man Tomlinson after his big knockout, man, all here tonight on the Big Face Show. Looking forward to it, man. Big shout out to Austin Dreamkiller Spivey, man. If you didn't see it, you go on there, the BKB. If you don't got Vice TV, that's where you need to be. But go to BKB on YouTube, man. They show a lot of their fights. You catch a lot on YouTube, man. And shout out to them, man. Fantastic fight out there in Denver, man. So on with the show right after we pay some bills right here, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that's what I'm talking about. It was a great interview there with Austin, the dreamkiller Spivey. Always love to talk to the up-and-coming cast who've been in boxing and other forms of mixed martial arts, combat sports in general, and then they get in that bare knuckle, man, and fall in love. The dude absolutely sounds jacked, and it's another great signing for BKB, man. A lot of fun, and once again, 7 of 9 knockouts the other night leads us into our next guest, man. There's a lot of damage happens in these fights, and a lot of these fights would be stopped way earlier than they are if it wasn't for the dedicated talents of Cutman. And tonight we got the legendary, the Cutman of bare knuckle, and also of the WBC Rayadh season, my man, Vic, the Cutman Starita. Welcome him to the show right here for the BigFace show, man.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, Cutman Vic, man, what's the deal, brother?
Well, I'm actually home in Las Vegas, resting. I flew like 33,000 miles in 11 days, man.
I know, man. I saw you in Denver, and you told me where do you come from? Dubai. So tell me that
from Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia to Denver, right? So Vegas to Saudi Arabia. No, you were in Aguascalientes.
I went to Aguascalientes, gave the WBC certification course, got on a plane. 38 hours later, 2 layovers. I was in Rayadh. A day and a half later, I worked 14 to 16 fights. I'm the lead cutman for the WBC Rayadh season, along with Sammy Morrison, BKB's British cut woman. Absolute excellent cut woman, and another cut person from Russia, Dennis the Menace.
I don't want to stop you, but you got a little something obscuring your camera halfway. Is there something there? Is that your finger? Yeah, get your finger.
Oh, that was my finger. Sorry.
Yes. But go ahead. What you were saying? You were saying about Russia.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a very good cut team out there, and as soon as that was done at 2 a.m, like 3 or 4 hours after the event ended, 5 hours after the event ended, I grabbed the plane, and 2 layovers later, 37 hours later, I was arriving in Denver. A day and a half later, I worked 9 fights, culminating with Pati Juarez with her title. And then the next day, crack of dawn, I caught my flight to Vegas, and my mom picked me up at the airport. I fell asleep on the way home in the passenger seat.
I mean, and hats off to you and the whole team there. No stoppages from cuts. And let's talk about that Pati Juarez championship fight, Vic, for a moment, because it's amazing miracle work there. She took a lot of damage from Courtney Cameron.
So let's say you grab the butcher knife, right? And you put it at an angle and you hit it with a hammer, and it went through the nose all the way to the back. So her nose was cut all the way through. Both nostrils are broken. Her cartilage and her nose was damaged, smashed. And no quit to that girl, because she spit out some foaming blood that would have filled a coffee cup easily. And she no quit. I used everything that I've learned from a lot of people, including working with Nacho Beristain in Mexico City, Marquez's trainer. And I used some of Don Nacho's magic, and Don Miguel Diaz, Billy Briscoe, a lot of the blessings they passed on to me. And I was able to keep her in the fight, thank God.
Man, and she was amazing, showed amazing. Both of the champions showed amazing. Pati Juarez really displayed something you don't see often, man. I mean, wow. And then to retain the championship, too, to go out there and do enough to win to keep her belt, man. Amazing work from you. Amazing night of fights. So, I've seen you at every event that I've been going to last several years, and you're everywhere. I see you. I turn on a boxing match, and there you are. I turn on a bare knuckle, there you are. You travel quite a bit. You talked about 33,000 miles in a whirlwind week. How does a man like you, how did you get into the Cutman game, Vic? How did you start down this path?
So I used to box, and when I boxed, I bled very easily. And then my kids came to live with me, and they became national champions, and they used to bleed from the nose also. And I was like, I'll be damned if my kids will get stopped at a national or going to a national because of a nosebleed. So initially, it was to keep my kids in the fight. And I didn't push them or motivate them to get into the fight game. They wanted to fight. from there, I was around a lot of people at the nationals, and then those guys asked for me to help with them. And then as they turned pro, the first pro that took me was Mickey Hernandez from Pennsylvania. I was his cut man. And then from there, it grew, man.
Absolutely. I know you've worked for all the major bare knuckle associations. How long have you been cut man for BKB?
So I've been with BKB for like at least 3 years, maybe 4. Initially, I was the first guy going over to BKB in England, helping out Sammy Morrison out there. Before that, it was me and Stitch at BKFC. He was the A side, I was the B side, and then I went to BYB, and then I started going to BKB events at the O2, and now they're merged, so they're a huge company now. BYB is known as BKB now,
BKB now the largest bare knuckle company in the world when BYB acquired BKB and then merged. Absolutely. So, and there's another thing that you do that, of course, I come from, some people come through bare knuckle from an MMA fan standpoint. I come from a boxing fan standpoint.
Yep.
And talk about Rayadh season for those who don't know. Tell them what exactly that is and what you're involved in there.
So Mauricio Suleiman's father, Don Jose, before he died, had a vision of putting a tournament together where the best up and coming guys would fight, and then those would get a chance of beating the number one seed to fight for the title. And his father died before that happened, before it was able to happen. And then Mauricio, during the pandemic, thought a lot about his father and stuff, decided to put the tournament together. And then when it became in actuality, Gabriel told me, his right-hand man, that he looked at Gabriel. The first thing he said was, "We need Vic Starita on board." Because I spent the whole pandemic in Mexico as a cut man. I traveled all over Mexico with Tintan, that was Nacho Beristain's right-hand man, and I did 4 shows a week. I was doing 48 to 60 fights because if I was in an event, I would work the whole event. I'd say, "You owe me, you buy me tacos, you buy me a soda." They couldn't afford what it cost for me to be there, but I needed to stay active because when the pandemic ended, there was only four cutmen working in boxing because of the bubble. So I needed to maintain myself busy, and that's what I did. I did that. So when the pandemic ended, I moved to Vegas and I took off. I went to the top ranked boxing gym, and I didn't stay home. I kept myself busy.
Yeah. So where are we at now with the Rayadh season? Where are we at in that tournament at this time?
So 3 events have happened. 2 months from now, they'll have the 4th event, and it'll culminate around December 20th. It'll probably, if the date stays, December 20th will be the last event. It started out with 128 fighters, 64 fights. That first time we went there, we had 4 days of 16 6-round fights, of which we had 384 rounds. I worked 350 because I'm the lead cut person. So I had to lead by example. That was absolutely fatiguing, man. I had 4 days of like 18 to 20 hours of just work, getting there, setting up, and everything else. But it was very rewarding.
You, man. You look like a freaking warrior when you get ready, man. You got the appendages here with the Vaseline attached. You are strapped down with a damn flak jacket full of everything. So, man, I know you toting around 50 pounds worth of shit, man.
I carry enough. I'm self-sufficient. When the first stage, they didn't have enough gauze and tape, and I brought enough.
Man. You're like a walking CVS.
I brought enough stuff that when they lost their gauze and tape, I had enough stuff in my bags that we were able to do the event.
Vic's like, what? I got a whole jar of Vaseline in my sock. What you need, man? I got everything in my pocket. I mean, literally, guys. I'm not exaggerating. He's ready for anything. A very serious. Hey, Vic's a great guy, man. Always great for a conversation at any event. But on that night, when you see him, you are a focused gentleman. I watch you, man. I watch you. Super focused, working really hard, like sweating through your clothes. And you guys are sometimes almost like fighting with the fighter because the fighter's coming to, he's paying attention to his trainer. He's thinking about this. And you guys are steadily working, man. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
The way I see it is as I'm walking out the ring, I feel like I did when I was a Marine or when I boxed. and my world closes. People say, "Oh, you look so mean." Well, maybe I am. I'm or not. I'm focused on my fighter. My number one priority is my fighter. I mean, if we're in a fight and the other corner jumps in at my fighter, I'll jump in and fight with my fighter. My job's to protect my fighter.
Absolutely, and you do. You are about business. So what's next, Vic? What's next for Vic the Cutman right now? What's next on your agenda?
I got some boxing stuff coming up here, but on the 6th, I'll be at Bristol, England for BKB. On the 13th, on the Canelo fight, my fighter is Crawford's sparring partner.
Oh wow!
So Lester Martinez. He will be the first world champion boxer from Guatemala. He's ranked in the top right now. And if that fight goes through, I'll be there on the 13th. And then on the 27th, I believe, BKB is in New York. So, and whatever else crops up in the middle, I'm just cooling my heels right now. I had a bunch of fights come up. I deferred them to some friends because honestly, I needed after the 11 days and 33,000 miles, I needed some time to unwind and sleep in my own bed.
Yeah, man, you need a break, man. Back in Vegas, man.
Yeah.
You need to be better than Vegas. So, hey, man, first and foremost, man, I want to say thank you very much, man. You've always been a great friend to me at every event, man. You've been super courteous with your knowledge, just how you are with you, and you know everyone. So I appreciate you, man. It's my pleasure, Vic. Second, I want to say who you want to shout out. I know it takes more than just Vic. There's a whole team. Vic can't do this by himself.
Look, I want to shout out to Mike Vasquez for bringing me into BYB. Mel, the matchmaker, for making some amazing fights, because a lot of companies put in mismatched fights, and that looks terrible, especially in bare knuckles, really bad for the B-side guy. I want to thank the fans for supporting the fighters for allowing us to be there for them, the cut team at BKB, including Sammy Morris, Big Surge, Temry, and there's a host of so many other people, Alex from who runs the whole backstage. There's so many people that make this happen, and I'm very grateful to be a part of. Through bare knuckle, I was able to elevate myself in the sport of boxing because of the severity of cuts and the wealth of experience that I've gotten through bare knuckle has made me the guy who runs the WBC tournament in Rayadh.
I mean, absolutely. If you can, and you are, man, you are one of the most successful. I watch it, and you stop cuts like nobody's business. It's magic. It's a miracle sometimes, man. And if you can do that in bare knuckle, you absolutely, because you see cuts in bare knuckle that show the frequency of them, right? And the severity way worse than boxing, right? Quicker,
Mark
faster.
Irwin, how about Mark Irwin? I kept him in that fight. ESPN was clowning him because here's a man who was a champion, and he fought, with a broken jaw, orbital socket, nasal cavity fracture, a punctured eardrum. Talk about toughness. There's a kid whose whole life of fighting, even before being in combat sports, culminated in the ring that night. And he had the fight. He had the drive. I kept him in the fight. I was privileged to be able to do that. So I'm amazed. Artem Lobov had 13 cuts on his face. I kept him in that fight against Jason Knight. Joey Beltran, was his cut, man. I've been blessed to be there for these people. I couldn't bring all my Marines back home as a Marine, but I take care of my fighters. I do everything I can.
Your reputation is amazing, man. And first, thank you so much for taking some time with us, Cutman Vic. I will see you at the next event, brother. I really appreciate you being a legend. Thank you so much, man, for being on the show.
I love you guys. I love the fans. Anytime you see me in the airport, anywhere else, even though I have a mean mug, doesn't mean I'm angry. That's just I'm focused. Come over, talk to me, take a picture, whatever you want. I'm there for you. It's a pleasure to serve everybody in the fight community. God bless you. And thank you, fans, for supporting the fighters.
Man, hey, what a fantastic night of shows, man. You got my man, the dreamkiller, Spivey. We, of course, talked to my homegirl, Alexus, who's going to be kicking serious ass over there on the West Coast for us and all around the world, actually, as bare knuckle, of course, takes over the world. And make sure that you like and subscribe. Bare Knuckle Syndicate, everywhere you see it, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Get the next best on Bare Knuckle every week, every day, right here at Bare Knuckle Syndicate, man. And once again, thank you to Vic Starita. We efforted getting my man Z-Man Zion Thomason on this week. Of course, after Denver, man, he under the weather, all the travel and the fight and the big win. We will get him on the show next week and check in with him. So, man, thanks a lot for tuning into the Big Face Show. And as always, you know what I say? There's no Coliseum without the gladiators.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.